Okay, we are relearning Next.js. Well, not relearning, but picked it up a while back and have not done anything with it. Let me share my screen here. It's been a while. So we're just going to go ahead and go through everything in Next.js. And then the ultimate goal is to create, let's see here, using Pocket Base. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I've heard of this. It is similar to Firebase, which I have used both on my. Let me turn off mine. Apparently, they've got a dark mode now. Interesting. Which I've used on previous apps. So similar to Firebase, but it's open source, so you're not locked into the vendor of Google, which Google's fine. But I think the main thing is that your data is stuck in there unless you run some sort of script to pull it back out. Anyway. So it's a lot easier if you just use something like Pocket Base because it's based in SQLite, and you can just run a quick query and get all your data out, push it over to something else. Maybe you want to go to something more. Supabase is a little bit more robust than Pocket Base. This is like super lightweight. I mean, you've got database, authentication, file storage, and then this like admin dashboard. That's it. And then Firebase a little bit more, and then Pocket Base. I guess Supabase and Firebase are about the same. But you definitely get some fancy vector AI stuff that you kind of get in Firebase. It's probably a little more toned down. Anyway, so goal is to go through, learn or relearn, I guess, get re-antiquated with Next.js, and then use Next and Pocket Base to create a habit tracker, which should look something like this paper version. I can pull it up. So it's literally just days of the week. Did I do it? Yes or no? What my goal is for how many times I want to do it this week, and then score at the end. Pretty simple, but I want to have the ability to be part of a group and then see how everyone else is doing in that group. Because right now we're just me and some other buddies of mine. We're just sharing a spreadsheet, and it works, but might as well get some practice. So let's see here. Welcome to the Next.js Router course. Oh, this is the app router. I guess that's fine. That's like the new. Yeah. I know there's an app router and the page router. The app router is definitely newer. But when I first started picking up Next.js, app router was like brand spanking new. Like no one was using that, except for if you're like trying all the hot new tech. But there's probably a decent number of applications and companies now using the app router that have updated to it. Although it's an opt-in feature, so there's a lot of companies I'm sure that are still using the regular page router. I bet if we go to the docs, yeah, there's a different page router, app router. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, they're right back to learning. So it looks like with learning, but they've just got the app router, which makes sense. They're going to push everyone towards that. I've heard that it was a little confusing at first, but it might be better now. So let's take a look here. We'll be building a full stack application. It looks like an e-commerce dashboard of some sort. Financial dashboard, public homepage, login page, dashboard, project authentication, the ability to add users, delete invoices. So you've got basic CRUD app, basically create, read, update, and delete. The dashboard will have a company database, which was set up later in the chapter. I wonder if this uses Vercel's fancy. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, so Vercel has got some very nice database products that they where are they? Solutions. Did I just not see it? Okay, well, they'd be hiding it. But let's go to the pricing page. We'll be able to see it there. Yeah, so they've got their edge requests. And let's see, functions, which they've had for ever. I mean, that's how Next.js handles their routing, or the API side of things. It's just spun up in a bunch of functions. And then let's go all the way down here to storage. So they've got their key vault, Postgres, and then looks like just regular blob for images, videos, audio files, and whatnot, which is still in beta. So I've heard good things about this, but from what I understand, it does not scale super well, which is another reason for using Pocketbase, because you self-host this on a little VM, and you can do that for like $5. So, all right, back to our little tutorial. I'm going to go over styling, optimizing images, links and fonts, routing, using the file-based routing. I like that. I got a lot of experience with Angular, and that's just like setting up a big JSON object, basically. Fancy JSON object, but a big JSON object. A bunch of just hard-coded strings. And I don't like that because it made it really hard when you're routing between everything. You just type in a hard-coded string, and then anytime you wanted to change that, then it was always a pain to go in and fix. Anyway, I think file-based makes a lot more sense. Data fetching and streaming. Streaming will definitely be important because Firebase or Pocketbase is real-time. I'm sure you can connect in a non-real-time way, but that's offered out of the box, so that'll be helpful. Search and pagination. I don't know the right way to say that. That's cool. Mutating data using React server actions. That'll be interesting. And then some error handling, form validation. I have heard that forms are bleh in React, so I wonder if Next has helped with that. Some authentication using Next auth. Now, it seems like it's like fairly solid for an auth provider. But when we make our project, our habit tracker, probably just stick with Pocket-based authentication. But it'll definitely be good to use this, because I know NextAuth, I believe their whole deal is that everything is much more modular, and you got to set up all the configuration by yourself so that it's more customizable, which is good and bad. But I think if you're just a solo developer, just one or two people, you probably just want to get it all rolled up in something like Pocket-based, or even I think it's Clerk. ClerkAuth. Yeah. This is like the industry standard from what I understand. Got all sorts of pre-built UI components, so you can just drag and just copy paste, or not copy paste, install, and all these different I believe they're web components in your project, and then boom, got it. You don't have to build out all of the sign in, create account, verify stuff. Like, these are all going to be the same no matter what you build. So I think you can change the color and stuff and make it look all pretty. But yeah, anyway, probably good to use those in general, but definitely good to learn kind of the more customize and process heavy configuration steps. Some middleware, and then adding metadata for social sharing. Oh, like SEO stuff, I would guess. This course assumes you have basic knowledge of React and JavaScript. Not super good at React, but yeah, I know enough. Went through the React.dev. Let's see here. Is this the right? No, we're in the reference. That's fine. Yeah. So I went through all of this, both this little tutorial, which was super good, and then diving into all of these. I did not get too far into the escape hatches, but these top 3 definitely got through all those. There's some weird stuff. I feel like React, and I don't know, maybe this is not the right way to think about it just because I'm not used to it, but I feel like React makes you have to think a lot more about node structure and are we memoizing this and saving it for later and renders and all of that. Like Angular just kind of takes care of all that, which I know can lead to some performance issues because you're not really thinking about it, but I feel like I'm just having to do too much. I'm writing so much code and thinking about like, okay, I'm going to update this in the use state, but then I can't use that state right, aligned right below because we're still in the same render cycle. And so that state object I just updated hasn't actually updated yet until we React re-renders the page. So it's a lot to remember, and I'm sure I eventually get used to it, but it just seems like if I'm trying to make it super easy for a developer to build stuff, then I want it to be really easy, and I don't have to think about that kind of stuff. But I don't know. React's like the most popular framework out there, so I guess it can't be that bad once you get used to it. If you're new to React, really recommend going through Foundations course. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely know all of these. Not so familiar with. I mean, I understand the idea of server components, but I haven't played around with them. And I don't know about React suspense. So you fall back. So it's like the loading. So it's basically like just saying, if still loading, show the loading thing. If not, show your component. I don't know how this is different than just doing an if statement or the double ampersands. Real nesting content, showing stale content while fresh. Okay, so I guess it's a little fancier than just simple if statement. Nice. Okay, well, we're not going to read into that too much right now because I don't want to get too much in the weeds. Starting requirements before I start the course. I am probably way behind on my versions and stuff. Let's see here. Actually, yeah, this is going to be on the wrong account because this is going to be my personal, I believe. Gotta get on. There we go. Looks like my profile is I'm Isaac Ludlow, but the account is still Isaac Ludlow. Sign out. Guess that's fine. All right. Probably won't be pushing this up anyway, so sorry, you guys. Can't see any of my personal information. Boo-hoo. Let's see what version we are running in terms of a node. It's going to be super old. No, it's not actually as old as I thought. All right, NVM. So instead of using NVM, which sometimes can cause some issues, sorry, let me bigify this. Let's see here. I'm not sure why you guys can't see my Visual Studio Code. Yeah, you guys have just been staring at my browser a while, so sorry about that. There we go. I was sharing just my window and not the whole screen. There we go. Okay. So, I'm on node version 20.12, which I think the highest version we have right now is, like, what, 20.16? Yeah, 20.16. And then for managing, instead of using NVM to manage different node versions, I'm using Volta. I think it's a little bit easier, better. I have not ran into as many issues as I run into with NVM. So Volta is still a JavaScript, node package version manager, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's technically a JavaScript tool manager, but it's built in Rust, super snappy. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. I know there's a couple other tools out here that are kind of like the NVM alternatives, but Volta is what I found, and it works. So let's see here. We'll do Volta list, see what we're running with right here. Okay. And then do Volta install. I think it's just node. And that should just pull the latest. Sorry about that. Yeah, 20.16. Which is more than enough for here, or just 18. So, excuse me, never hurts to be more on top of things and up to date. When you're starting a new project, might as well. Okay, and then operating system or Mac OS, so we're fine with that. Need a GitHub account and a Vercel. I definitely have a GitHub. I might not have a Vercel account for my non-personal. Alrighty, chapter 1. Okay, looks like we're installing pt1. And I just heard my wife get home, so we're going to hit pause on that and get back to this later. See you guys.